The second impeachment of President Trump began with congressional debate today in the U.S. House of Representatives. Now, this comes just 1 week after pro-Trump rioters stormed the U.S. Capitol. Here to talk about this is Travis County GOP Chairman Matt Mackowiak and Ed Espinoza from Progress, Texas. Thank you both for being here.
Sure. Good to be here.
Matt, Republicans who pushed Stop the Steal are now saying time to heal. What is the case for not impeaching the president for incitement of insurrection?
Yeah, well, I'd first say that anyone who meets the legal definition of incitement needs to be criminally prosecuted by federal prosecutors. And I hope that includes anyone, whether that's Rudy Giuliani or the president or activists or anyone else. But look, the argument against impeachment is he's got 6 days left. The Senate's not coming back till the 19th, probably wouldn't even begin a trial till the 20th. There's a lot of doubt about whether the Senate can even impeach constitutionally someone who has left office. And you are certainly going to see a negative reaction from Trump's base and perhaps even more violence over the next 6 or 7 days if they pursue this. So you have to wonder. I understand the desire to want to seek accountability. I want to see that too. I want to see criminal prosecutions. And I do hold the president responsible for his irresponsible language. But the question is whether this impeachment is going to bring the country together or not. And when you're seeing only 7 or so Republicans in the House vote for it, it's really not going to do anything. And so I think it is time to try to bring the country together. And I think you're going to see Republicans look to work with President-elect Biden when he gets in office on COVID stimulus, infrastructure, a couple other issues initially.
Ed, leading Republicans say that impeachment is too divisive and that it's time to heal. What is the case for impeaching President Trump again when he will be out of office in 1 week?
The case for impeachment is to demonstrate consequences for the actions that happened last week, which is inciting the violence, destruction, and the death. 5 people died in the attack on our nation's capital. And if we don't have consequences for that, if there is not a response, what is to keep it from happening again? Better yet, what is the message we send to the rest of the world that this was okay? Some action has to be taken. Now, I understand that a second impeachment is an extraordinary case, particularly when someone is getting ready to leave office. What happened last week was also an extraordinary case, and President Trump is not going to be deterred by anything without some sort of serious legal consequence, and that's what this impeachment is about.
Matt, talk about the friction this impeachment is creating within the GOP, because, again, some lawmakers are for it.
Yeah, so far the number's been pretty small. You do have the striking scene of the number 3 Republican in the U.S. House of Representatives, Liz Cheney, who's the House GOP conference chair, who has said she's voting for impeachment. You have, I think, around 7 as of last count in the House. Unclear how many you have in the Senate. You may have 3 or 4 right now. We'll see what Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell ultimately decides. Look, there's widespread horror over what happened last Wednesday. I think it's one of the 3 worst days in the United States in the last 100 years, right up there with Pearl Harbor and 9/11. 5 people killed, including a police officer, a 6th police officer who committed suicide, 52 police officers injured. The very real possibility that constitutional officers like the Vice President of the United States, the Speaker of the House, and the Senate pro tem could have all been killed. So I think it backs you to no one how serious this is. The question is whether a second impeachment that doesn't really remove him from office really does anything that matters, except divide the country further.
We are just about out of time. Ed, final thought.
This attack on the Capitol will be in the history books. How we respond, or the lack thereof, will also be in the history books. It is imperative that the government responds accordingly.
All right. Ed, Matt, thank you both for sharing your perspectives with us tonight.
Thanks.